Hey guys, welcome back to the Unsavvy Budgeter. I'm Cindy, and for those of you that are new to this channel, I take you with me on my debt-free journey to pay off over $71,000 in credit card and student loan debt. In this video, we're going to be going over my February budget update. This is going to be 2 weeks worth where I go over how I've used my paychecks for the past 2 weeks to pay down my debt and any expenses that I've had for the past 2 weeks. So for the month of February, I'm trying something a little different. I decided to kind of break out my paychecks for the past 2 weeks to see what I've budgeted for my first and second paycheck, and we'll go over what I actually paid. So for paycheck 1, I get paid weekly, but my husband gets paid bi-weekly. So the first week of February, it was only my paycheck, so we had $1,523 to work with. Our expected expenses for that first week were to cover a lot of minimum payments for 3 of my credit cards, and I had a Sallie Mae student loan minimum payment I needed to pay, and we had some variable expenses for groceries, dining out, shopping, miscellaneous, as well as healthcare. So as you can see, my credit cards, I've budgeted a $53 minimum payment, $85 minimum payment for another card, as well as $188 for another card. My Capital One card, I ended up paying $52, which is a $1 less, and my Citi Thank You card, which is my credit card number 3, I had budgeted for $85, but I ended up having to pay a lot more. It was an actual payment of $109.10 on that credit card. Then my Navy Federal card, which is my credit card number 2 that I'm paying down now, I actually didn't need to make a minimum payment since that's the card that I've been targeting extra payments on to pay that down to a 0 balance. So even though I budgeted $188, I ended up not paying anything for the minimum payment. As for Sallie Mae, we have budgeted $127, and that's what I ended up paying for the first week of February for groceries. I have a fresh budget for the month of $300, and of those $300, I spent $51.28. For dining out, I had set aside $200, and I actually ended up using $107.52 for dining out. This is already over half of our dining out budget. I thought that since it's just me and my husband, we could decrease our spending by $100, but because we are out of town and staying with family right now, we wanted to try and share the responsibility, but now we're paying to feed a family of 6, so that's why this is actually a little bit higher for dining out. And as for shopping and miscellaneous, we set aside $200, and we ended up using $11.10 for that. So far, that was to pay for shipping for the Passion Planner giveaway that I ended up having. I had $600 for healthcare. I ended up using $150 already for therapy session. So what we have budgeted for the first week was $1,753, and we ended up using only $608. For our second paycheck, this is where I had a lot more money to work with. I had my paycheck of $1,523. I also had my husband's paycheck, so he got paid $2,679.22, and we had $40 that we got to include as bonus income for Facebook sales that we made. So that gave us $4,242.22 to work with. We had expenses for groceries, dining out, shopping, subscriptions, emergency fund, my husband's spending, 2 savings account, and the internet bill to pay for. So we've budgeted for all of that here, and out of the money that I've already used for groceries, I have $248.72 grocery money to work with. I ended up using $58.72 for the second week on that already. For dining out, I had $92.48 to work with remaining of my budget, and for the second week of February, I already used $127.13. So I actually used over my budgeted amount. I thought that this month would be a lot less expensive, but because we're trying to share the responsibility of household expenses with my siblings, we ended up paying a little bit more, which is okay. We'll just see how it all turns out for the end of the month. So shopping miscellaneous, I have $188.90 left from my budget, and this one's a lot. I had $521.28. This was a lot higher because this included, I think a big chunk of it was Lunar New Year money that I had set aside for my nieces and nephews. I also forgot about a bill that I had, which is my AAA membership, roadside assistance. That is an annual expense, and I ended up paying for it this month, so that's really what added to this amount being so high. As for subscriptions, we've set aside $58.97. We ended up only using $44.98 so far in this month, and everything else checks out. $100 for savings, nothing for husband spending money so far, $5 for his Credit Karma savings account, and our $94.99 for our internet bill that we pay monthly. So for week 2, we spent quite a bit. We spent $1,052.10, which is a lot more than we intended to spend, but we're hoping that maybe week 3 and week 4 we can turn things around and cut back our expenses a bit. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll go ahead and transition into my passion planner, which I use as my budget planner, and we'll go over my expenses. So for the month of February, I have my week 1 of expenses here, which wasn't too bad. We had groceries, which we did at Costco, my therapy session, my shipping costs for the giveaway, and dining out money. So in reality, for variable expenses, I spent $378.62. For the second week of February, we have more dining out expenses that we either mostly treated other people out for, and we had a Target grocery shopping trip that didn't cost us anything because we ended up paying with a gift card. The AAA membership that I mentioned, I also paid for an Airbnb experience for my family to enjoy together, and various shopping miscellaneous expenses such as Lunar New Year. We celebrate this every year, and I try to set aside some money for red envelopes for my nieces and nephews, and this is something that I hope to have a sinking fund for in the future. I also have my pet insurance, which I'm pretty much considering a sinking fund, so I went ahead and set aside that $160, even though I didn't really spend anything on pet care. So for week 2, I have spent $798.41. I don't plan on paying for everything for this second week of February, so some of those expenses will be paid in week 3. Now we'll go over my debt tracker. Credit card 1's already done and paid for. Now I'm working on credit card 2. For February 5th, I paid $915 at first, so that brought down my balance to $1,234.04. Then on the 10th of February, I had interest added onto my credit card, so that added $7.21, which brought up my balance to $1,241.25. When I got paid again on the 12th, we went ahead and paid off credit card number 2, which is $1,241.25. So now I am officially done with credit card 2, and I don't need that to be a problem anymore. And I still had leftover money from week 2 to put towards my credit card 3, which is my city thank you card. So for February, we had an automatic payment of $109.10 to meet the minimum payment. So that brought down my balance to $5,452.04. Then I had interest added, which is pretty high. I'm not really happy about seeing that number. On the 8th, I had a charge of $52.39 of interest added onto my card. So that brought up my balance to $5,504.43. On the 12th, we were able to use our remaining income and pay $2,191.62 towards credit card number 3. So that leaves us with a remaining balance of $3,312.81. So it looks like I'll be pretty close to paying this credit card off for February, but not completely clear yet. So we'll see how I do with sales and things like that for the rest of February. So who knows? I might be able to pay it off entirely, but if not, I'm pretty happy with having credit card 1 and credit card 2 out of the way for the first 2 months. So what does that mean and where do I stand now? We remember that my original total debt with my credit cards and student loans was $71,116.03. My total credit card debt starting out was $31,789. And for week 1 and 2 of February, we were able to pay down $4,347.87, which means that since I started my debt-free journey, I've been able to pay down $16,046.07. I had forgotten to include how much progress I was making on my student loans because I still was making minimum payments on my student loans, so that actually was bringing down my total debt. So I included where I'm currently standing with that, so that's why my total pay down amount is over $16,000 for the month of February so far. So that means where I stand now with my current credit card debt, I'm at $17,240.59, which brings my total debt to $55,069.96 as of today. I've learned from my mistakes from January, and as you know, I've combined finances with my husband, so I've been making sure to include our joint expenses as well as our joint income to really show you guys where our money is going, and we're really trying to follow that zero-based budget. So all in all, we're really happy with the numbers we're seeing as of today, and it really looks like we're ahead of schedule to pay off our credit card debt before May. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to stay tuned for videos that I release every Wednesday and Saturday. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I was really excited to pay down my second credit card, and I'm so close to paying off that third credit card, so we're making really good progress halfway through February. So if you want to check out my progress for the month of January, make sure to check out those videos about my budget updates. Also, you can check out my vlog where I talk about my mental state and how I'm doing on this journey.